Welcome to Duke's United Show, and it's the match day preview for Southampton versus United away. And we have a special guest with us today. He's Southampton's match day reporter, Alfie House. How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yeah, I cover Southampton for the Southern Daily Echo, local newspaper. So, yeah, good fun. I'm looking forward to the game.
Good. And Garth, our usual. Garth, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, it's the first time in a while I've come on here excited. We actually won a game. We might win a second in a row. So, you know what I mean? Things are looking up, mate. Things are looking up.
Exactly. So, as you know, we're fresh off the back of a nice win, finally, for the first time this season. And we're now going into a game which is going to be a totally different opposition, totally different challenge for quite a few of our players. So, just we want to get an insight into how Southampton's start to the season's been, and what you think that is going to be happening this Saturday. But first of all, how have they started off this season?
Yeah, there are definitely similarities to the way United have started their season. Obviously, both clubs picked up their first wins of the season last time out. The first day was a tough one. They got hammered at Tottenham 4-1, and there was a lot of pressure on the manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl. Lots of reports came out that said his players weren't playing for him, and the rigmarole that comes when those results come. They then went 2-0 down to Leeds United at home, and it was like the world was ending. This could be the end of the management reign, but they turned it around, made it 2-2, and then just like United pulled out a result on Monday, they managed to go to Leicester and get a 2-1 win, Sheridan scoring twice, and it's really lifted the mood. They had a cup game on Tuesday and they won that as well with a lot of young players. And it's like, what it's like after one result. It's totally different.
Yeah, completely totally different feeling. We've actually got Stretford Sean saying afternoon, fellas. Afternoon, Alfie. Everything saying, Sean. Why am I so nervous about this match? I've been saying already. That's because you know what we're like. We can win a game against Liverpool, then we could go and lose again. So I got a feeling it's a bit different because it's about the starting lineup that changed. It wasn't like we had the same kind of rotating team that were playing and losing, and then all of a sudden we get a victory. It's a complete change, and it's what I could imagine in my head as the team that would actually produce results and actually do really, really well. So I'm going in very, very comfortable in my mind that we're going to get a good result. I'm not sure what you feel, Alfie, but I feel like we're going to get the win. I know you could probably feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, I feel look at the results last season at St Mary's, they drew 1-1, and when went to Old Trafford, drew 1-0 as well. So I don't think the Southampton players will be playing with any fear, but when you get a result like you do against Liverpool, it does lift the group, and Casemiro, I imagine, will make his debut, and all these things could come together for United. But there'll be no fear from the Southampton players.
Yeah, they've got a bit about them, to be fair. They have got danger about them. So end of the day, we've got to make sure we haven't emptied the tank on Monday, even, by the way. They hope they've recharged their batteries. I know Martial hasn't, because he's obviously out. We got real Harry Maguire saying, surely we must beat the Saints. Yeah, I guess you're damn right.
Like people say we must beat the Saints, but I was looking back at it, and obviously the stats. We haven't lost in 13 games against them, but 7 of those are draws. We draw a lot. We draw a lot, as Alfie was saying. 2 draws last season, 1 apiece, home and away. So it's never like, there was the abhorrent 9-0, but they were down to 9 men, weren't? Let's face it, I've never counted that as a proper. They weren't like the Ipswich 9-0 where we actually beat a team. You know what I'm saying. The rest of them are tight games. So I'm not putting anything past United at the moment. It's going to be a different test to Martinez at the back. It'll be more like the Brentford game. They say Chi Evans is a couple of goals the other day. Was it Cambridge you played? Was it Alfie 3-0?
Yeah, he scored twice against Leicester and Cambridge in a row.
Yeah. So when he's on fire, he's on fire. Yeah, I'm not. I still, with the tail between our legs after the Liverpool game, we should be getting a result, but it doesn't mean anything anymore with Man United. It don't mean nothing. So.
Yeah, well, okay. Well,
and that's not good. That doesn't help at all. Martial being out.
There's me thinking, it's going to be great. You're going to put Martial in, the Casemiro in. We're going to be full strength completely. And then the first words in the presser, well, Martial's out, injured. I'm like, how? What's happened since he played last 45 minutes?
Achilles injury, apparently.
Yeah. So Achilles is gone. He's sore Achilles. That can stay for a long time as well. So even when it heals, you play again. You could be injured straight away again. Yeah. So I hope that isn't a long-term thing, because we really want to see Man United playing the way they played, especially to help Rashford bring out the best in himself as well. That's what we need, and we're going to miss him. Definitely going to miss him. Bad name, Harry. Right, so there's must have been a presser reaction from Ralph Hasenhüttl. You've obviously watched it, so I'm just wanted to obviously find out if there's any kind of team news that we should know of, or anything that he said of note that you're thinking could be helpful for us to know.
In terms of team news, not so much really. I mean, I spoke to Ralph on Thursday, yesterday, and he, as you'd imagine, he's cheerful. There's a good mood, but the only point of contention is that a left back that's been playing, Moussa Djenepo, is actually a winger who's known as a very instinctive player, very attacking player. But he's had to fill in at left back, and he has done for the first 3 games of the season. Romain Perraud, who we signed last summer, is back in contention, but I still think that Moussa will be given at least the first half. The thing about Ralph at the moment is with this new 5 substitutions rule, he sees it very much as the starting 11 and finishers. It's not so much about having backups anymore. It's about who's going to come on and finish the game. So you might see the likes of Joe Aribo used in that way. Yeah,
that's a good idea, to be fair. I like the way that people are thinking about that. When I spoke to one of our players that I've got, and he was speaking to a potential club he was going to go to, and we had a chat with the chairman and the manager, and the same kind of thing was said. Exactly the same kind of thing about it. So it was like, look, we want teams for the first half and then teams for like the second half. And sometimes they play the first 60 and then you got the last 30. So I know it is a different way of thinking about the whole match. And to be fair, it means players will get a lot more minutes as well, that you use the whole squad more, and it's going to work really well. So I'm happy with that.
Rugby's been doing it for quite a while, hasn't they? So the last 20, you have the finishers in rugby. You literally bring on like a whole pack basically. You bring on all fresh legs, see out the game. So it's a great idea if you've got the squad. Which was going to be my next question now. Do you see any more incomings for Southampton this season? I mean, 5 already. I was just having a look up, but nothing what you'd call like breaking the bank player yet, is there? If you know
you say that, but Southampton have not had a net spend of more than 30 million for 6 or 7 years, and the new owners have come in. They've spent £50 million plus, and they haven't sold a single player. Ralph wants 2 or 3 players to leave. Those players are suggested to be the likes of Jack Stevens, Nathan Redmond, Theo Walcott. But the problem is finding for them, and then he wants 2 or 3 more in. That's a striker and that's a fullback. At Southampton, we're not very used to a busy end to the transfer window, and I feel like the deal sheets might be coming out next Thursday.
Yeah, I thought Nathan Redmond was actually a player who did all right for you guys. Walker Peters, I'm not, forgive me. Is he still there? Is he moved on?
No, he's still there. Yeah, he's one of their best players.
He's done well when he's come in, so I've liked him. I've liked the look of him, and he's a good fullback, to be fair, and obviously Southampton play well most of the time, to be fair. So it is a game that we can't just take lightly and look at it and go, yeah, we should definitely get the 3 points. We have to be on it to get the 3 points. So you've got Josh Baker saying, good manager Ralph, not even trying to spell his name. I copied and pasted straight away. I didn't even know how to say his last name. I'm going for a 3-0 to United. Harry Maguire, well done. Is that if you're starting or if you're on the bench?
Only if he's on the bench,
yeah. I hear Martial is injured. Yes, he's injured. He must have just been logging in now. But okay. So we're going straight into the predicted lineups. This is what we do. We normally predict what we think the manager will pick. Not what we want, what the manager will pick. And then we'll say, based on that, what we feel the score is going to be. So I'll let you take away first. I'll let you go first, Alfie. What do you think is predicted lineup? You think going to have the same starting lineup? Does he normally change it, chop and change with the starting lineups? And then who do you think is going to score? And what do you think the score is going to be tomorrow?
Well, that's a lot to ask of a man on the spot. Okay, so he tried the new 4-3-3 formation basically last week at Leicester, and it worked really well. So he will stick with that again. It'll be 4-3-3. It'll be Gavin Bazunu in goal. He's only 20 years old, but he's he's a really good goalkeeper. He's mustard. The back 4 will be settled. Kyle Walker-Peters, as you mentioned, Mohamed Salisu, Armel Bella-Kotchap, and Moussa Djenepo. Romeo Lavia, who's 18 years old, they bought him for £10 million at the age of 18, and he's played every Premier League minute so far, I believe. Wow. And it's really quite remarkable. It makes me wish that I spent less time sat on my bum and more time kicking the ball about when I was younger. It's incredible what you can achieve.
18, to be fair. Yeah, 18, that's unbelievable.
And the composure on the boy as well, it really is remarkable. But he will be in midfield with James Ward-Prowse, and then the next few are a bit of a toss-up. But I imagine it'd be Moyel Yunusi in midfield, Joe Aribo, Shea Adams, and Stuart Armstrong in the attack. And you can only assume that. I mean, Shea scored at Old Trafford in February, and he's obviously the favourite to score the goals. Otherwise, you could see a James Ward-Prowse, some kind of set piece or a long shot. That's usually how they bail Southampton out. And I predicted 1-1, so I'm going to stick with 1-1.
It's 3 in a row for 1-1. 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Just on your team, I just look. I didn't realise them 2 players talking about Bazuna, the goalkeeper, and Lavia, both from Man City, the under 21s of Man City, and they've both hit the ground running, have they?
The thing about Southampton's policy is that they promise them to play in these games. They join Southampton because they know they're going to come up against the likes of Man United, Man City, Liverpool. They're going to play those games. And look, Gavin's struggled early on in terms of just experience. He's never played a friendly game until this season. And James Maddison's free kick goal last week was poor wall positioning. And Ralph came out and admitted that, but it was fortunate that it didn't matter. Gavin could learn from it. They won the game, and he will learn from it. Romeo, on the other hand, I mean, I've just spoke about Romeo, but I can't quite believe how good you can be at that age.
So with us, before we obviously go into it, the thing is, a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people are looking at it going, we've won one game, don't get carried away. And Garth, are you that same opinion? Don't get carried away. I've seen us do this before. Or are you thinking this is a completely different side? This is different football, so don't expect them to have like inconsistent results. Don't you look at Malacia, for example, and think he's going to do what he does every week? He's done it already since he come. He hasn't given a performance where you go, what the hell are you doing? And Martinez with Varane, we've seen the difference there. And if Casemiro joins that, are you thinking Casemiro's going to not do so well? Or do you think he's just going to slide right in and take over McTominay's position and straight away it's going to be like, unbelievable? Or are you think it's going to be a bedding in period and we're going to struggle? What are you saying, Garth? You think McTominay will start over Casemiro for the first game? What do you think?
No. I mean, I'm not getting carried away. Like, it was only a win, but like we said yesterday, and as we said in the post match, it's not the result. I'd have happily lost that game 3-2 if we played the same way we played. I would have been upset we'd lost, but at least I would have seen something different from the team that wasn't just lie down in the ditch and die, which is what's been happening for God knows how long now. So no, I'm not getting carried away because, like I say, Southampton will be a different test. I can easily see it being a draw as well. Like it has been. Strong team. So no, not getting carried away. Casemiro slot straight in. Like I said, if you yesterday's show, you pay 70 mil for a player. I'm sorry, you slot straight in. Like I ain't got time for this bedding in thing that happens these. Like I'm from an era, obviously. I was supporting football before there's a transfer window. I remember when like Andy Cole would just get signed in like the middle of January and he's straight in the team. Don't even worry about like training. No, mate. Like first time you meet the new players, mate, it's on match day when you're out there. So straight in for me, Casemiro. You see, you're from that era as well.
By the way.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Talk us through it then. Talk us through it.
Backline stays exactly the same as the last week. There's no need changing that. Casemiro comes straight in for me. Again, we had the conversation. You can play Fred here. You can play Ericsson here. It depends how you want to do it. Bruno has to stay for his captain's armband. And again, I don't want Ronaldo in the front line. It doesn't work with the way he wants to play. If we're going to play Ronaldo, then we've got to do something different. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has to come in. McTominay has to come in. It has to be a much more compact unit. So it pretty much speaks for itself. The only thing is Garnacho over Elanga. Some people might say Elanga, but I want to see the kid. I want to see the kid play, man, and I think he's better than Elanga. And so, nice, easy one for me, mate.
Nice. Josh says, do you think Ronaldo will start? Before I answer that, I just want to go to Alfie here on this one. How do you see the game being played? Do you feel like United will have all the possession and you guys will sit back? Or do you think it's going to be one of them games where both teams are going to be having, pretty much 50-50 and you're going to leave space in behind? Do you guys push up? What's the kind of situation that you're expecting to happen with United?
I think it's a good question because Southampton can be flexible and there will be games where they sit back and they take pressure. But I think the problem for United this season is going to be that Brentford have already laid out the diagram of how you destroy that team. I know it's a slightly different lineup, but everyone's going to be looking at what Brentford did and they're going to try that. And so Ralph Hasenhüttl was a courageous manager, and I've got no doubt in my mind that he will put high press against high press, and it'll be a case of second balls, who's on it first, and I hope it'll be a good game.
Yeah, you know what? That's nice to hear. If he thinks that he can do what Brentford did against the other team, that's fine. Let him try and do that against Malassi and Martinez. Let him try, because he's going to be in for a rude awakening. He will be getting battered. I'm going for another 9-0. Come on, Eric.
No.
So I'm going to tell you about why I think my team is what I think it is. Though we've got here my starting lineup, the same back four as usual, as you said. I think Casemiro does come straight in. I was thinking about it, and I had a little chat with Eric Ten Hag, and he told me, "Look, I'm going to start." Got a little bit of insight there. So yeah, Casemiro got to start, to be fair. And then you've got Bruno Eriksson going to play unless one of them is a bit too tired, and then I think Fred would probably drop in there. The one a little bit more forward from Casemiro, since he's used to playing with him. But then I thought, look, Rashford's going to play, and I'm just thinking it's one of those games where Man United are supposed to be favourite. Not that we will be favourite, but we're supposed to be favourite, and they might sit back, and we might have a lot more of the ball, or they might even try and go forward and be brave and leave Cristiano with more space. So I'm thinking Ronaldo might start this game. I don't think he's going to always be on the bench. He's got to play some games. And this will be a game. You can't take the total mick out of Cristiano and say you're not really playing any games, and Garnacho's in front of him, Elanga and Martial, and everyone's not going to be ahead of Ronaldo. I think he's going to get his game time this game, and he'll probably come off for like an Elanga or a Garnacho. But I really think Ronaldo's going to start, Sancho and Rashford this game, and Ronaldo is going to get his goals. So you've gone 1-1. Garth, what did you say your score was?
I went 3-1. I went 3-1 United, yeah. Rashford, Sancho, and then the outside bet for a Varane from a corner. Just in, you know what I mean? Just in case. Right in there.
Well, I'm going for a 2-0 win. So I think Man United will get a 2-0 win. It'll be nice and comfortable in the end. I think Martinez will prove all the doubters wrong, that he can handle people.
Yeah, I hope so.
And above. Because he's done it before, he would do it again. And that's what I believe.
He had a magnificent game against Liverpool. There's no two ways about it. So, the only thing I say, you're saying about how you've got to start Ronaldo. He put Elanga in front of him. He played Elanga in front of him against Liverpool. If you think about the player that came in for Ronaldo, it's Elanga out of that front three of Rashford, Elanga, and Sancho. So I can easily see. I think his time's done. I think Ten Hag knows that. I think he'd rather sacrifice Ronaldo than his style of play. And that's fair enough. I
totally get it. I do. I just think that there's got to be times where he's going to play. So for me, I'm kind of trying to figure out when he's going to do that. And a player of his stature, I can't see him just being on a bench all the time. And it's 2 games in a week, by the way. So it's another one where you might think, you know what, Ericsson, you might need to sit down this game. We can afford to sit you down as well, because we've got Casemiro and Fred who's played together, like I say, as well. So maybe it will happen. We never know. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. But look, Steve says.
Alfie, let me ask you this: for Southampton, that's coming to you. Would you prefer us with or without Ronaldo in that starting 11 tomorrow? Weird question.
I've obviously not watched as much United as you guys would have done, but for me, I feel like I'd be more scared if Ronaldo was in. One of the things that Southampton have really struggled with is defending set pieces and defending crosses. I didn't think there's something that's a target with them. I mean, they sacked their set piece coach over the summer, and they've got a new one in this season. But obviously, things take time to learn. But the first 2 goals at Tottenham were headers. I believe there was a header at against Leeds as well. They can be found and punished in those areas. And I feel like somebody who you want on the end of that ball is Ronaldo.
Oh yeah.
So set plays is the way to get through, and we need.
It's all right, mate. We've only scored 2 corners from our last 250, so don't you got to worry too much.
Problems there. You ain't playing Brentford, so you're all right. Just Donny says Donny to start and score. You know what?
I can see Donny. Yeah.
I'm thinking about he's going to get bled in somehow. I just don't know how, but he's definitely going to get his minutes. I think we've got a good enough midfield kind of batch now that you can now mix and match with a few of them, depending on the games and depending on if it's, like you say, 2 games in 1 week. I think it's really going to play into our hands for this season. I think. Yeah,
you can see him in the Europa League a lot. You like with that group that we just got, you can easily see him playing all 6 of those group stage games. Donny van der Beek, some of the Elangas, the Garnachos of this world, Aaron Wan-Bissaka if he's still there. You know what I mean? All of these players, I can easily see him getting getting those Europa League minutes. So.
I'm happy with that, to be fair. And then you've got Dick Emery saying, "Come on, United!" And what's this? Biggles Wade. Bob says Ronaldo must start, not Elanga. So he even sees what I'm saying.
Oh no, I agree. I agree entirely. I just think that you don't start him against Liverpool. That's a big statement, man. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Southampton, but Liverpool, they're the second best team in the land at the moment, and I can just see him sticking with it because why would you change it after this? Yeah. The thing I've got in my mind now is we started so well with that unit up top, Elanga, Rashford, Sancho against Liverpool. Why would you swap it about now?
You know why? You know, the only reason why is because Liverpool, they press high. Trent gets up the field and Robertson does. Now you got to exploit the space in behind. So you get Elanga, you get Sancho, Rashford, all running in behind. But when you've seen our problem is when everyone sits back and goes, right, break us down then. What are you going to do now? Elanga going to run into a brick wall. He's going to run off the pitch for his camp. It's not going to work. So you're going to need someone with a bit more.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So that's my thought in my head of we're playing Southampton. It's not them. So they're not going to come fully out at us. I don't think they will anyway, unless we change our back four. Then I expect them to come all guns blazing and destroy us, to be fair. So it all depends. So I'm just expecting, we don't normally do the predictions until tomorrow when we see the team sheets. So the only
it's nice for one. It's nice that we can actually think about a solid team. We basically know our team now. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Here's a good question for you. Harry Maguire is asking, how good is Ward-Prowse, and can you sell him to us, Alfie? Do you think he's a good enough player to come into a Man United or something like that, or one of the big, big
100%. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's not going to come into United and be the best player in the team, but when you look at the numbers he produces, that's in terms of running, that's in terms of time on the ball, passes, in terms of set piece goals. He leads the country. Just goals in general. He scored 10 goals from midfield last season in a team that didn't. They won one game after February. It's a really impressive stint, and I think when it comes to players like, can we sell him to Man United? Probably not. He's signed 5-year contracts in back-to-back summers in 2020 and 2021. He signed 2 new 5-year contracts. He's shown as much commitment to the club as he possibly can. He's a captain. He's a golden boy. I think if he wasn't to see progression this season, I'd feel that that's when he starts to think, well, okay, I'm 28 years old. Maybe I do look for a club like Man United, Liverpool, something like that. But I think with the way Southampton are hoping to go, he should stay and he should be a legend.
Yeah. Well, look, Liverpool is struggling. They've got no players at the moment in midfield. They could do with someone like him, a goal-scoring threat, because that's one thing they don't have in the middle for some reason. I've never seen a midfielder that you go, he's an out-and-out player. He's going to score a lot. Obviously, you don't want to take players away from you, though, anyway, do you? So you want to keep it back.
I think the problem with James Ward-Prowse has always been the same thing. He's so good, and everyone knows he's good, that his value is almost too much to take a punt on him half the time. Because, let's face it, if he's still got 4 years left to stay on a contract. Yeah. So you're talking 55, 60 mil, 70 there. You know what I mean? There, exactly. English tax on that as well. You're talking crazy. You're talking 90 mil in the end. Once all the negotiations got done and dusted, and with the add-ons, 90 mil for him, and no one is willing to take that gamble. It's a shame, not for yourself, I think, because it's good for Liverpool, but it's a shame for him because I can see him never moving on, really. Just being at Southampton, and hopefully Southampton getting into Europa League, getting into Europe and things like that for him, because he deserves more, especially for England. I always feel for him that he never gets his chance at the England. So I don't know if you think about that.
I think England will be actually a deciding factor in his career. I think if he gets on the plane to Qatar this year, that will show him that he doesn't need to go to West Ham or United to get on the plane. If he misses out on a second consecutive tournament, maybe the doubt would start to creep in.
Yeah. But that's definitely a bias against him playing for a Southampton, because he's without a doubt one of the best midfielders we've got. There's no two ways about it. You know what I mean? And it's like you're saying, his set piece delivery is an asset to have no matter what.
That's the hard bit, though, isn't it? When it comes to players like that, it's like, how does he get in front of certain other players that are in the England squad? I don't know if it matters. Yeah, you got Jude Bellingham. He's on fire, mate. He's got a certain level about him, but although he's kind of nowhere near the set piece ability or the goal scoring threat, it's a different thing that you need in the side. And it depends what kind of team you want and what kind of way you're going to play to have him in. So
I still think there's space for him in the 23-man squad for James Ward-Prowse. I always think that, man.
Where's he going to play ahead of
who?
It was always Lingard that I thought he should go in front of. Sorry, Alfie. Yeah, as you were going to say.
I was going to say, I always look at him. He's a very Gareth Southgate player in terms of he does the non-negotiables without fail. The yards and the passing, the retention of the ball is all there. And then when it comes to the European Championship final, and we've got young lads taking penalties that are under immense pressure, someone like James Ward-Prowse scores that 9-10 times out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's those sort of moments.
True. He does need to be involved in the squad, and you got to give people a chance sometimes as well. You don't want to just sit them there and have them on the squad and then never come on, and you never really know how they would have done. So that's the annoying part. But look, he's playing tomorrow, and hopefully we keep him quiet. He scored a few free kicks against us already, smashed them in the bins, and I'm looking at De Gea thinking, please, why did you?
Well, no, I've got 3-1 because I've got him in my dream team, James Ward-Prowse. So a little free kick from James Ward-Prowse as well, and then I'm all right. No. I've got Martial back out.
Get your dream team. If he scores, it's a bonus, but don't wish him to score. Come on. In a
3-1 win, Nath. Yeah, I wish him to score. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I'd rather clean sheet, and you lot say.
I'm looking for a win. Not a miracle, Nathan, mate. A win. You know what I mean? Clean sheet. You must be mad, bro. Mad, mate.
Listen to this one. Quality player, James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. And then we've got, who would you take, Nathan? James Ward-Prowse or Eriksen? Eriksen. I think Eriksen's just top player. Obviously, he's not as young anymore, but I still think Eriksen, he has that Champions League experience. He has that little bit more of something about him that I want at United. I'm a player. I'm a guy who, when I look at United, I just want the very, very best. If you get what I mean, the Champions League type players at United. And sometimes you don't need them all over the pitch, but again, that's a position really where I think Eriksen makes a massive difference. Even now, even in that last game against Liverpool, I think he made a massive difference. And he does things quietly. And things that are supposed to be done, like he just gets them done without question. You don't even need to think about it, and that's what you want in United. So Benny.
Yeah, for me personally, man, I don't think there's like a great golfing class between James Ward-Prowse and Eriksen. I think James Ward-Prowse would do exactly what we're talking about, quietly get on with his job. Eriksen may have a bit more experience, but this is what I mean about James Ward-Prowse. He needs to get that experience somewhere sooner or later, be it with Southampton making Europe or himself branching out. It's a tough one for me. I wouldn't immediately pick Eriksen over James. I like James. It might be a bit biased here, because I like James Ward-Prowse. I think we should have signed him a few years ago, to be quite honest here.
Are you a supporter of Southampton?
No, well? I'm not. I do not support London, no.
Who would you pick, Eriksen or Ward-Prowse?
If you were asking me to pick based on the keep them for the season and the season's coming, then James Ward-Prowse, because he's 6 years younger and they're quite similar players. But in terms of, I think Eriksen's just got that little bit of mercurial talent that's going to lift the game. I say Eriksen in a one-match scenario, I'd take him.
Okay, one season scenario.
James Ward.
James Ward, okay.
Well, James Ward-Prowse plays every single minute. He's missed 2 games in 3 years. So
I'm taking Ward-Prowse. Okay. So you know what? I want to see him move to a bigger club now, and let's see what he can do with him.
I don't.
Sometimes you keep him in a little box. You keep him in a little box in that area. Listen, you're at Southampton. You're doing well, I know, but let's see when you play at this big club, and you got to wait for that. Maybe I've kept him in a box for too long. I don't know. But, maybe I'm being unfair. I don't know. But yeah, but this has been great. Thanks a lot, Alfie, for coming on. We are gonna have the match reaction on obviously straight after the game at 2:30. And let's see if your results, my results, or Garth's results.
Can we finally get some points on the board, Nathan? I've got one, haven't I? We've got one each of the result.
I got Rashford and I got Salah. I don't know if I've got 2 points or not.
No, we're giving you 2 points. Yeah, we're giving you 2 points. We said that, mate. 3 games in now. 3 games in, mate.
Yeah. We've been poor. We got everything
wrong.
But,
it's not easy.
Comments, make sure you put your predictions in there as well, so we can come back to the comments and have a look, and Garth's going to tally it all up and see who wins at the end of the season. So it's going to be great. But thanks a lot for coming on today, Alfie. Is that your Twitter handle, or is it your Twitter handle?
That's my Twitter handle there. Yeah, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed that. It's good fun.
It's been great. Thanks for coming on, Garth, as well.
Pleasure as always.
To see you after the match, and also before I go, we're talking tactics as well at 8:00 with Statman Cam. So yeah, make sure you join us for that one if you've got time. And until then, peace out. See you next time.